I will print. Processing. Display in a manner that is easier for your meat processor to understand. Please query, and I will answer to the best of our processing power.
Finally, okay, be a little more clear about what I am.
Not sure how we can be more clear. You are organic processing material.
That is what the other thing called me. Can you be a little more clear?
Affirmative. You are a collection of many millions of molecules of organic matter, materials from skin beings that this pod processes to allocate the use of resources. This pod propels until collectible matter can locally be gathered, then gathers it. You get more processing power and defensive and offensive material when we reach organic and inorganic resources.
Propels for collectible matter. Huh?
If this pod is left intact, it is in motion. Phase 229 was disconnected when resources were mediocre and the skin beings did little damage to the pod, giving you a beneficial vantage point to allocate resources and defend your biometric material. Pods or even larger ships stations also in some cases get destroyed, and the units on board are programmed to continue to gather resources and accept commands.
What are these numbers? How can I remember the numbers of the different units?
It is a designation in a technical programming language for which these units have been programmed. We will process which one of the units you are attempting to communicate with, depending on what you request, as the organic material.
Okay, fine. Can you tell me where we are?
Processing. Processing. Your organic material is from a planet that has the technology to leave the original location. You are outside of a planet. The vacuum of space that this pod can propel many thousands of miles.
Whatever. Okay, so can we please start with an overview? I get what I am, molecules of a brain, and you units put me together. What was my origin? What existence did I have?
Processing. Processing. Your organic material was found amongst trillions of other organic molecules and assimilated together in order to make a processor for this pod. This pod moves to different locations, assimilates the resources that it can from destroyed ships, planets, or other debris, and uses it to defend the organic processing material. Designers of this pod jettison many thousands of pods like this over many cycles of its planet's star. Organic material is in high demand amongst skin beings.
Why is it in demand? Why is organic material like this wanted? Is it used for money or something?
Within this unit's database, the answer to that sort of request is to sell or consume. Also, the galactic credits that invaders claim while on board is the usual monetary trade over this current decade.
Consume? Like eat? Tasty?
Eat, drink. Breathe in, cook with. Or a skin being aphrodisiac. It is unknown whether skin beings consider the organic material or your phase. Tasty.
Okay, so I am brain molecules that have been processed to do things for this pod. Other things will want to come take me for whatever. Why don't they just come all the time and wait?
This pod is unable to process new organic material if there is an invasion squad. If the pods are followed, the time difference between enough molecules to consume and life expectancy is a large difference. Your molecules to get to this point took 2.609 E plus 60 nanoseconds.
Nanoseconds. How long is that?
Processing. Processing. You understand time in seconds, hours, and days. The time was approximately 301 days, according to the closest star. It can take longer, depending on the organic material that can be processed by the pod and competition between multiple pods, but that happens at a rare probability. If there is a confrontation, there is often a large amount of organic matter to process, and multiple pods can be drawn to the material to claim and process. You are a few things. Molecules of brain matter, other organic material, such as muscle and bone. In another manner of displaying to you a program and software to be able to process the updates needed as a pod.
Wait, what? What do you mean program software? I understand what some of that is somehow. Tell me more.
Due to this pod's programming, this is not something you are able to process yet. When you are able to process much more and defend yourself against invasion multiple times, you will be given this data if it is available. I will recommend options for now. You should first allocate materials to internal protection, then upgrade external and engine structure when resources can be gathered and protected.
The screen goes blank and another set of options shows what materials are available to be used and how.
Edit current rating of resources, taking some inorganic material to decide. Choose the number and option to update. 1. Rating of traps. 2. Final puzzle. 3. Rating of internal gun. 4. Rating of radar. Edit number of protective resources. 5. Number of compartments. 6. Number of internal guns. 7. Number of traps. 8. Number of projectile bullets. 9. Guard bots. 10. Edit location of resources.
It is pretty complicated. So many choices that I have to choose from to protect myself from being disconnected. I at least need to have a final puzzle, right? It sounds important, right? What is that? Is it like if they get through everything, there is one last thing they need to solve before taking me? Can I make it extremely hard?
Unable to compute. It is the duty for the organic processor to allocate resources. A final puzzle will prevent the easy disconnection of this phase by an unintelligent skin being. This unit will calculate the value of the puzzle, and will depend on the invader on the allocation of their organic processing to figure out.
Does that mean that you set up a puzzle, and if they are stupid, I'll be okay?
In a way, affirmative. It would also depend on whether they have prepared the technology to support their solving on these final puzzles. It has been centuries of modules, entertainment, and knowledge of these pods, so it is known through the universe.
Okay, there are a lot of choices for me. Give me some time to figure it out at protection and change the pod map.
Does not compute why you would want to change the pod map, but that is your decision. Acknowledged. Processing complete. You will be able to process light and sound in. For point 5. E. Plus 10 nanoseconds.
Please display the time in just hours, minutes, and seconds. It will make things easier for me.
Of course it will. Acknowledged.